You do not need a gym to grow your glutes. In fact, you don't even need this bench. All you need are these 3 movements and a sofa or some sort of step in order to lift and tone and round your behind, making it look nice and pretty. Before we get into 3 different movements, let's talk about the 3 different areas of your glute muscles. So the first, the glute max, you can think of being the entire cheek. That's gonna be the largest of the glute muscles, and we're gonna work those with things like squats and deadlifts. We'll get there next. Next up, we're gonna get to a smaller area. This is called your glute med, and it's more responsible for, say, sideways abduction movement, but this is the little one that makes your hiney look nice and round and helps lift it. That third area is kind of hard to see. It's called the glute min. It's the smallest. It's actually towards more of the front side of your body, but we're gonna work that with a lot more lateral movement. Working these 3 glute muscles together really ensures that toned, muscular booty look. Okay, the first move is a hip thrust, but because we're going without a lot of weight and we're doing this at home, we want to make it a little challenging. So we're going to do a single leg version. That means you don't need nearly as much load or weight on your hips, and you're still gonna get a great burn. So come down, if you're using your sofa, whatever you're using as your sturdy ledge, and bring your feet together. This is different than a bilateral hip thrust where my feet would be shoulder width or hip width. For a single leg, I'm gonna bring them together, and then I'm just gonna lift one up. A lot of times I'll hold on like this, and I'm gonna push through my heel and squeeze my entire glute. As I come up, notice I come into what's called full hip extension. You're gonna feel that lock out, like you are at the absolute peak of squeezing your hiney. This actually works your entire glute. Think about tucking the top of your glute down to the back of your knees, and that really helps the squeeze. You can perform 10 to 12 on each side, pushing your knee out before swapping and going again. All right, the hip thrust really works the entire glute, but especially the top portion. Now we're gonna get into the bottom portion. Remember when I said squats and deadlifts really train that bottom part of your hiney? Let's do everybody's favorite Bulgarian split squats. Again, with a single leg exercise, you don't need to hold any weight or do as many reps, and it's still gonna be challenging. I wanna show you an interesting setup for this. Start off in a sprinter stance. Decide which foot you're gonna have forward as your working leg, and then bring your back leg to whatever you're using. If it's the couch, if it's the staircase, whatever you're using to level this foot up, be very light. Don't press down too hard. From here, think about how you would jump out into a sprint. You're hinged forward, thinking almost nipple to knee is a good way to think about this. That way you're really engaging your glutes. Hold your hands by your chest and think coming out of the hole. Notice my shin is staying vertical and I'm sitting back and down into my glutes. Now I'm gonna show this from the other side because you only need to do about 8 to 12 reps before that starts to really burn. Again, I'm coming down into my sprinter stance and thinking jump up and out of the hole. Here I'm letting myself lower with control. You're gonna feel that really sitting into the bottom area of your glutes and then pressing through your heel, keeping your shin vertical to come right out. Now, if you struggle with lunges like this or split squats, I want you to look and see if you're moving your knee too far forward. A lot of times that's the case and people have knee issues. So try to keep that shin locked forward and sit back and down into your hips and into your glutes. You're gonna feel a major difference. All right, move number 3 looks really easy, but I want you to try it because you're gonna be woo-sawing in just a few seconds. This is an exercise that's gonna hit that top portion of your booty, that glute med, and it's so simple. You could actually do this on the floor, but in order to increase the range of motion, you could also do it on a sofa or on a bench like this. So your top leg is gonna be the one that's working. You're gonna lie down, kind of lean forward. I've got my front hand pressing into the bench, and my back leg, my top leg is extended all the way. Notice my foot is pointed down, so my heel is pointed up. I'm going to squeeze from right here to lift and lower. And notice, because I'm not on the floor, I have extra range of motion to go down into this deficit. You might have seen people at the gym using a cable to do kickbacks. This is a good modification for at-home work. You're gonna feel this for sure. I also really love this exercise because it's really easy to progress. I can just throw on an ankle weight and then even up the pounds of the ankle weight from like a 2 pound to a 5 pound, ultimately to a 10 pound as I get stronger. You really want to focus on keeping your core tight as you're isolating from that top corner of your glute. And boy, like I said, this one looks simple, but it is a burner. So 3 easy ways to lift, tone, and round out that behind. Plus, with more muscle, you burn more fat. Hey, special bonus. So make sure that you try these 3 exercises. Try to repeat them maybe every 2 to 3 days and see what progresses and how you can progress them with any weight at home, you know, holding some cans of soup or a water jug, whatever you can do to make them a little bit more challenging. But the fun part is that you can literally do these in your living room, watching TV, and not leaving the comfort of your home. I love bringing this fitness content and lessons to the Magnify Maggie YouTube channel, so make sure you comment which has been your favorite exercise that we did today, and what do you want to know more about to get your health and your habits in line. And on that note, make sure you subscribe so that when I put out new lessons for those habits and that health of yours, that you're here to catch them, helping you think different in order to drink different, or never again.